Time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. Record heat continues into the end of the week across the southern plains. Record cold develops across California tomorrow into Saturday. Active monsoonal showers for the southwest into the southern Rockies. And showery weather on tap for Florida into the coastal southeast and across northern New England. Closer to home, we're going to see some moisture and rain chances creep back into the area today and tomorrow, but then drier air returns for the weekend, only for the moisture and rain chances to return for the start of the week. Our high temperatures into the weekend will continue to run well above average, but for the start of next week, we're going to see high temperatures dip a few degrees. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. We spoke with Debbie Cooksey, the mayor of Tularosa, following the village meeting last night.
We passed a couple of resolutions that we had. Well, not really resolutions, but some stuff that we needed to get passed to get the COG. And Rusty Hilton gave us a presentation on getting our water tanks repainted. And of course, you know, they have to be sandblasted and painted. And it's quite a long process, and you have to have special paint. And the figures he gave us anywhere that we can afford. So we're going to look for some grants to do that. And we looked at some murals that could be painted on there after it's sandblasted and painted. We're hoping to get that done. I couldn't tell you when.
We also discussed new businesses coming to Tularosa. She kind of hem-hawed around about what's happening at the school. We discussed the splash park and a few other topics. You can hear our conversation in full on our YouTube channel. Yesterday, Tularosa PD, the Otero County Sheriff's Department, and the New Mexico State Police performed precautionary rounds and increased law enforcement presence in the schools in light of the events in Silver City concerning the active shooter at Western New Mexico University. The attacker in that incident has not yet been publicly identified, but the police say they know for whom they are searching. The City of Alamogordo Utility Maintenance will be installing and changing valves on 12th Street down to Mountain View Avenue between Cuba and Washington today between the hours of 8 and 3. Water service may be disrupted or shut off temporarily during these times. Businesses that will be affected include the Alamogordo Recreation Center, Alamo Paint and Glass, Pizza Mill, Albertsons, and the Alamogordo Public Library, as well as City Hall. The Alamogordo Recreation Center will be closed today due to the water utility maintenance in the area. The Republican Party of Otero County's monthly meeting is happening tonight at 6. It's the 12th Judicial Roundup. You can meet the judges to retain and hear updates about the 12th Judicial District. There's also going to be a potluck at 5:30. Again, that's this evening at the Republican Party of Otero County headquarters located inside White Sands Mall. A dance is taking place at the Alamo Senior Center. We spoke with Brittany.
It's from 2 to 5. Selma will be playing. It's $5 at the door. Light refreshments such as punch and cookies will be served, and it'll be fun for all.
That's happening on Friday. Call 575-439-4150 for more information. Don't forget that tomorrow is 4th Friday. The event is free at Washington Park from 6 until 10. Music by Whiplash. Kitty City will be at the mall this Saturday along with Animal Control.
Come to the White Sands Mall Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Kitty City and Alamogordo Animal Control will have both cats and dogs available for adoption.
Kathy Denton from Kitty City. The Kitty City, New Mexico Facebook page has details. The website has profiles of available cats. Residents affected by the South Fork and Salt fires, as well as flooding in southern New Mexico, can receive FEMA assistance for damaged private wells and septic systems. FEMA has extended workshops on home repairs through August 24th at Village Ace Hardware in Ruidoso. Over $5.5 million in assistance and $8.75 million in SBA loans have been approved. The deadline to apply for FEMA is now October 19th. You can see the Village of Ruidoso Facebook page for more details. Please be advised that beginning in September, a lane closure and traffic control plan will go into effect on 10th and New York. The first project will consist of utility work, including sewer and main water line replacement. This will be the first of many projects to improve the water and sewer lines throughout the city of Alamogordo. Another project will immediately follow, known as the Great Blocks Project. This project will have a completely different traffic control plan, and an announcement will be made to notify residents as well as to ensure everyone's safety when that time comes. Great news from Animal Village NM. You can once again get your dog or cat spayed or neutered for just $65. Sonny Eris told us all about it.
In Otero County, that is Paw in Hand on Cuba near Albertsons. In Lincoln County, that is Ruidoso Animal Clinic. The vet will schedule your surgery for you after you have the paperwork from Animal Village NM. Then you'll get your pet spayed or neutered for just $65 instead of hundreds of dollars.
AnimalVillageNM.org for details. Well, today is Thursday. It's time now to check in with our good friend, Lauren Noble, for today's Thursday Thought.
Good morning, 95.1 listeners. This is Pastor Lauren with our Thursday Thought. I was thinking the other day about the story of the barnyard geese by the Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard and how it applies to life. The story goes, one day in the barnyard, some geese were flying overhead in their majestic V formation, winging their way to sunny weather and better days. So the preacher goose got up on the top rail and extolled them in the glories of goosdom, and how they were meant to be free, and how there was a much better life out there, and there was things to see and things to do. And the geese got happy and excited and flapped their wings and claimed in excitement, yes, that's who we are. This is who we're supposed to be. There's things out there to do outside of here. And as the geese in the sky got out of sight, just trailed off out into wherever they were going, the barnyard geese looked around their surroundings, thought, well, we have food here, and we have shelter here, and we know what we're going to get pretty much every day. So they got excited, and they flapped their wings, but they never learned how to fly. And I think sometimes that's very true with all of us. We get caught up into our comfort zone, and I know sometimes I do. That's why it took me so long to break free from my addictions, as I was comfortable there. It wasn't glamorous. It was kind of like a barnyard, but at least I knew what to expect. But we get comfortable in areas of our life, and we never break out of that comfort zone. And sometimes we think about it and even get excited about it, but we just never move on to new surroundings. Let me say a prayer for us. Lord, help us to get out of our comfort zone and move on to new horizons and soar on to something that is much better than where we are right now. And it is so easy for all of us to get caught up in the normalcy of our life, if you will, or our comfort zone and just stay there. And I just pray that for myself, sometimes I need to break free, and so do a lot of other people out there, and you'll help us to do that. Amen. Until we meet up again on the airwaves, blessings to you.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Local news from local perspectives, from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Local sports, local events, and local happenings and more. Nonprofit owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
65-year-old Joel Ruiz of Dulce was sentenced to prison for using candy in order to lure children into his home on the Jicarilla Apache Reservation. He would then sexually assault them. Ruiz will go to prison for 30 years. Evidence in the case showed that he lured at least 2 children to his home between January 2016 and January 2020. Both of those kids were female and under the age of 12. The 2 victims testified at the trial and detailed the abuse they experienced. Upon his release from prison, Ruiz will be subject to 10 years of supervised release. A woman was recently arrested after a Las Cruces business was discovered to be running an organized retail crime operation. They stole over $8,000 in merchandise. Organized retail crime is also known as shoplifting for profit. This happens when multiple people work together to steal, receive, and or sell merchandise for financial gain. This crime is a second-degree felony under New Mexico law. The woman was charged under the state's Organized Retail Crime Act after investigators executed search warrants where merchandise that was stolen had been sold or stored as part of an organized retail crime operation run through a local business. The woman has not been publicly identified, and the business involved will not be identified as the investigation is ongoing. The recovered stolen property included clothing, cleaning supplies, health and beauty supplies, hardware, electronics, general household goods, and building supplies. Speaker of the House of Representatives Mike Johnson, along with former U.S. Representative Yvette Harrell, spoke in Las Cruces yesterday morning for the opening of a new National Republican Congressional Committee battle station, which will serve as the hub of a grassroots team with the intention of electing Yvette Harrell and other Republicans up and down the ballot this November.
We have to take a step back and look at the moral high ground because it has shifted. It has taken a step down, and we deserve to do something for our kids. It is our responsibility.
No argument there, but this next part, I am 100% against.
You know, if I had it my way, we'd be doing term limits. I don't know if the speaker heard that or not, but our founders missed that. Nobody should have gone to D.C. to stay there for 30, 40, 50 years.
No, Yvette, you're wrong. You should not have the authority to tell me or anyone else for whom we are allowed to vote. Our founders didn't miss it. It was presented and voted down. You see, telling people they can no longer vote for someone is stripping away freedom. Telling others for whom I'm allowed to vote or not since you felt it was someone else's turn, that's just not right. Most people scream term limits, cite Pelosi and Schumer as examples. But since I don't live in San Francisco or New York, it really isn't up to me to determine their future. It's up to their constituents. If you feel these two should get out of office, then move to their districts and vote them out. Passing regulations and laws that limit freedom is exactly how we got into this mess we're in. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, you cannot legislate the population into freedom. And I will never support any proposal that limits the freedom of any of my fellow Americans. Some point out that the president has term limits, to which I would say you're right. And I favor the repeal of the 22nd Amendment. Why was FDR elected 4 times? Simple. The people wanted him. Harrell, the former representative for New Mexico's 2nd Congressional District, is running against Representative Gabe Vasquez. The University of New Mexico Police Department will implement body-worn cameras for its officers this coming autumn. According to Lieutenant Larry Bitsoy, it's an initiative aimed toward building public trust, accountability, and transparency. He spoke with KOAT.
Obviously, transparency and accountability. We can hold our officers accountable. The transparency, when people see those cameras that we're wearing, they may persuade them to act a different way. So that helps. You know, when they see that they're actually being filmed, their behavior might change as well.
Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham signed Senate Bill 8, also known as the Public Safety Accountability Bill, into law back in July of 2020. The bill requires all New Mexico officers to wear body cameras as a deterrent against unlawful use of force and establishing strengthened accountability measures in instances of inappropriate excessive force. Sports and weather are next. You're listening to Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, it just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
In volleyball action, Tularosa enters the Eunice tournament tomorrow and Saturday. Alamogordo faces Lovington on Saturday. All those games are away. Football season openers are this week. Tularosa begins tonight as the Wildcats welcome Hot Springs. Wow! Alamogordo kicks off tomorrow as the Tigers welcome Deming. Both games are at home. Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies, winds gusting up to 21 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, winds gusting as high as 18. Sunny tomorrow, winds gusting up to 21. Your high today in the Basin, 97. Low tonight of 72. High tomorrow, 97 degrees. In Cloudcroft, mostly sunny skies today with a 20% chance of showers and storms, winds gusting up to 21 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, winds gusting up to 18. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a 20% chance of shower activity, winds gusting up to 21. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 74. Low tonight of 55. High tomorrow, 74 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. That concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.